In the district of Mulanje, the southern part of Malawi, there is a small village, Mgumela village. While some people, especially those in urban areas, take their easy access to water for granted, people of Mgumela village, especially women, have different frightening tales to tell in their quest to access water. The women in this village have been facing gruesome experiences in their search for water at long distances. They wake up early in the morning. They travel long distances. On the way, they meet different dangers, one of which is rape from some men who take advantage of the water situation in the village, since the women travel long distances to fetch water in the wee hours of a day. However much as the women meet these challenges, the water that they fetch from these faraway places is not safe. They draw their water from open wells, which sometimes also caters for their domestic animals like cattle. In a typical Malawian traditional fashion, two women, one of them most frightened, are sharing their ordeal. After exchanging morning greetings, one tells the other that what she wants to say is a top secret. She says she would have been raped on her way to fetch water, but she was lucky not to be raped because she was rescued by passers-by after a struggle with her assailant. The victim of the attack is afraid to go and tell her husband, but she is encouraged to do so by the friend who also encourages her to report the matter to the chief of the village. Considering the high rate of HIV cases in the district, the two friends discussed the chances of contracting HIV if the deed had been done, and so they agreed that the issue must be presented to the chief and break the silence so that a solution is found before more women are raped.
Kupanda ineyo kulimba ineyo kupanda kulimba ineyo bwezata ndigwiririra ndithu ndipo ndikufuna ndikuuze anthu muli apapa amene akumagwiririra anthu kumaziko ndi chirombo yakona ineyo chirombo.
This issue of rape and water has become a catalyst for change in this village for a community dialogue session.
Vega nde ineyo pempho langa ndirira afumu athu kodi afumu simungapange mufuka munanga ine.
The chief thanks the community members for coming. He then reveals that after a discussion with the elders of the village, they have discovered the problem the village is facing, which is the unavailability of potable water at a reasonable distance. Being democratic and considering the issue of decentralization, he leaves the deliberations in the hands of the people. In identifying and suggesting possible solutions, the woman who first attempted rape stands up at the chief's court and shares her ordeal. With men not accompanying women when going to draw water, she begs the chief if men can start accompanying women whenever possible, but the men in the village are against the idea. As in a democracy, another man, however, sides with the women and supports the call, observing that if the issue is not addressed and if men are not supportive, the malpractice would increase the spreading of HIV in the village because of the uncontrolled raping of women. Hence the question, who will take care of the orphans if the older generation dies of AIDS?
Chifukwa matenda a HIV andiyenza akufala chifukwa cha kugiriridwa. Ndiye pafundo manager ine ndaona ngati ndi abwino kwambiri kuti tizapelekeza azimayiwa kumazi.
The man suggests if they could have at least one borehole. He, however, bemoans to the gathering the tendency by unscrupulous men who vandalize boreholes when they are erected in the village. In a bid to find possible solutions and action plans, the people come up with two possible solutions. The immediate one being that men in the village should be escorting women when going to draw water at dawn while waiting for a new borehole, and the other one that they should approach those responsible in providing potable water so that a new borehole is drilled in their village. Another concerned woman asked the village headman to go to the government to have the problem at hand sorted out. The woman argues that as ADRA Malawi taught them, they are supposed to hold service providers like government accountable so that they have their developmental and livelihood challenges addressed. She suggests that one lady in the name of Wanachisale should be entrusted with the responsibility to go to the government department responsible for water to speak for the village. Community members now know their rights and responsibilities and therefore wonder what the Member of Parliament for the area is doing in the area of development and providing services since elected, and they vow never to vote for the incumbent MP in the coming tripartite elections. The village headman agrees with the community that the Member of Parliament for the area has really forgotten them, but he advises the community to first of all focus on the matter at hand. The results of the community dialogue session and possible solutions then leads to consultations with those responsible for the drilling of boreholes at the district office. Today is the day that the catalyst that has been troubling the people of Mgumela village will be solved. The borehole drillers are here and everyone is happy. Finally, the village is going to have potable water at a reasonable distance. The coming of this borehole in this village today will ensure that people in the village have enough time to do other developmental activities as a community. On individual basis, this development will help the community members, especially women, to engage in other self-developing activities like businesses that would help them to develop their households, as they will be spending less time fetching water. While this is just one story emerging from Malawi, on a day-to-day basis, it is a common story in almost all corners of the country, especially rural areas. While it is not a welcome challenge, it has now established itself as a reality to live with. While government is doing all it can, organizations like ADRA Malawi are helping people to know their rights to development, to know which officials to approach for what service. Mgumela village is just one village. It has its own challenges. But luckily, people of Mgumela village are empowered. They can speak out.